Hi there, my name is Cudabear. I've been playing RuneScape on and off since 2005. During that time I've played lots of restricted accounts, but I've never played the game as it was intended since 2011. Now, I'm seeking to change that by building a main to endgame content as fast as possible using routing and macro efficiency. Welcome back to Macro Efficient Main. Hello, and welcome back to episode 12 of Macro Efficient Main. Today I've got a lot planned and I'm really excited. But before we get started, a quick housekeeping note. If I were to zoom out here, you'll see something on the ground next to me. There's a couple of tiles I've labeled here. So basically what this means is I've launched a channel membership program for the channel. You can find the link to join down below. If you would like to support the channel, there's 3 tiers. The first tier gets you the emotes and badges that I've made for the channel, and also gets you access to a playlist on YouTube of all of the music that you've heard in this series for convenient listening. However, if you would like to support the channel even more and sign up for the second or third tiers, you'll be able to mark a tile in my game with your name and or message depending on the tier you pick. So yeah, that basically means no matter what I'm doing, no matter what series I'm working on, you'll be able to see your name whenever I pass that tile in game, as long as RuneLite is working, because it's tied to my RuneLite profile, obviously. So definitely consider joining the channel. It helps me a lot to make better content, and also gets you a little bit of recognition in the series. Of course, beyond that, I'll definitely be thanking channel members who join by putting them in the credits at the end of each video. And if you did join that top tier, I'll give you a verbal thank you as well, such as thanking OneKiller912, who was the first one to sign up at that tier. Alright, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get started with the episode. So with all of that housekeeping out of the way, let's go ahead and jump right into the episode by doing something that's pretty overdue, and that's actually completing the camp here on Fossil Island. I've been putting this off for a while because I didn't have the construction levels for it, but now I've had them for a while. Might as well just go ahead and get it done. Start by building the bank chest here, of course. Of course, also build the fire pit, build the loom, build the spinning wheel, build the well, and finally build the cleaning table. This gives a nice chunk of construction experience, all the way up to 34, which is important for the next thing that we're gonna do. Also, talking to Peter after fixing up the entire camp, he can give us a couple of free fossils to kick off our fossil journey, and these will be important because we can use them to claim an experience lamp a little bit later. We actually need that construction level to build something that we require for the next quest. For that, I'm going to need to start by building a workshop. In the workshop, I need to build a workbench and upgrade it twice. All right, let's go ahead and get the next quest out of the way, which is going to be Cold War. Alright, that's the end of Cold War. Some nice experience rewards from this quest, but glad to have that one out of the way. Funnily enough, while I was doing that quest, I was listening to some gaming music, and the Red Alert 3 Soviet theme came on in the background right in the middle of the quest, and it was extremely fitting. So, keeping up with the questing, basically doing some quest cleanup at this point, we're going to keep going with what lies below. And there we go, 8,000 runecrafting experience and 2,000 defense experience. The beacon ring is also nichely useful for me as it gives a small magic bonus, and I'm probably not going to be buying any stat boosting rings for a little while anyway. So next up, we're actually headed back to the Varrock Museum, as I should have enough quests and other achievements to be able to get 150 kudos. So I'm going to go ahead and claim that now. And part of that is turning in these 5 small unidentified fossils that I got for free to get a couple of extra kudos. I sort of forgot I actually have to clean the finds first. And we can build this fossil over here in order to get just a little bit of extra kudos. And that gives us a small lamp as well, which is pretty nice. Of course, throwing that directly onto runecrafting as always. Then we talk to Historian Minus up here in the upper floor, and we tell him all about our adventures, and he'll give us some rewards as well. Actually, I didn't know this, but apparently you need this book from the Varrock Library in order to turn in that quest. And for some reason, I am still 6 kudos short, so I'll have to figure out where those are and get them done. But I can at least put this experience lamp onto runecrafting for another 1,000 experience. So actually, what I was missing was the Curse of the Empty Lord, which is a mini quest. I don't entirely know if this one's worth knocking out. It's definitely worth knocking out in the very long term, but just for the quest cape, it doesn't seem super worth it, because basically all I'm really getting here is a little bit of extra kudos. But I'm gonna go ahead and do it anyway, and it shouldn't take too long, but I'm still dubious. But let's get it done. Alright, this is the end of the Curse of the Empty Lord. There's technically one more step, I think. You can get the Ghost Sword, but I don't think it's required for doing the mini quest. So let's go ahead and turn this in at the Varrock Museum. Okay, so now I can talk to Historian Minus and tell him all about the Curse of the Empty Lord, and that should give me the rest of the kudos that I need. It also gives another antique lamp, which is pretty awesome. This is a pretty big boy one, and it's level 50, so I think I'm gonna find a way to quick get my runecrafting up to 50 before I use it. And then the last thing I'm gonna do is talk to the information clerk here to get my reward across the other skills, which is a good amount of experience, so it feels worth it to do the mini quest. I don't know, maybe it's not. That is a lot of level ups though. So in order to get the 50 runecrafting that I need to use this lamp, I'm going to go ahead and complete some easy and medium achievement diaries. I wanted to get these knocked out for the experience anyway, and this seems like a good time to do it. There's no specific achievement diary rewards I will need from these tiers, but it's always helpful to get them done, as in the long run, it can be pretty helpful. So let's go ahead and start with the Follower Easy Diary. And we'll start by murdering the face of this poor duck here. Bye. Actually being a helpful player in Motherlode Mine. I mean, who actually does this? Gee, it's such a waste of time. Trading Sarah, the farming shop owner, just outside of the Falador farm. Talking with a disgraced celebrity. Pretending to explore some outdated and useless content. Unlocking the secret of grafting the human mind into a tiara, paying a ton of money to a chromosomal history identification company only to learn that your entire history was entirely made out of super racist people, and you're actually kind of sadder now that you know that. Alright, and of course we're going to continue with the Falador Medium Diary, so let's do that. Defiling the Druid Circle by praying in some armor dedicated to Saradomin, using an ancient key for some untold fortune. Ooh, cool, not bad. Hastening the heat death of the universe by burning some tree logs within the city of Tevely. Mining some gold ore within the Crafting Guild. Sobering up some poor old drunk homeless man. Hey look, they made the drowned from Minecraft into a real thing. And apparently I was lucky enough to get the hat out of it. And that's enough of that. Being forced to participate in even more dead content, give some poor birds PTSD, and use probably one of the biggest banes of any Iron Man trying to complete achievement diaries early, but is made trivial on a main account, but also simultaneously extremely useless for both accounts, and that's grappling over a wall.
Stop! You violated the law!
Pickpocket a guard, stealing some wine from some innocent wine admirers. It's good wine. And that concludes all of the easy and medium diaries for Falador, so we can go ahead and turn it in with Cerebral here and get our experience lamps. And of course, we'll absolutely go ahead and throw both of these into runecrafting. 7.5k and then 2.5k, bringing us almost right to 50. Actually, that is so close that I don't even think I'll do another diary. I'll just finish it up real quick. So just using a quick Mind Alter teleport to come here and knock out the rest of that experience. 50 runecrafting achieved. Amazing, as now I can go ahead and throw this other antique lamp directly onto there for an extra 10k experience, bringing us almost to 51. Runecrafting is incredibly easy if you train it the correct way, which is to not train it. Oh, and I should probably call out this shield. It's not particularly useful to me, however the recharge prayer ability might come in handy at some point. I'm sure I'll use it maybe for Nightmare Zone or something. Might as well. Finally, with that out of the way, we might as well get moving on to the next thing, which is going to be a bit of a skilling grind. Alright, earlier in one of the episodes of this series, I made a big mistake by saying this. Alright, that's the end of Family Crest. Unfortunately, the reward is not particularly useful to me. Yeah, obviously I wasn't considering the Goldsmithing Gauntlets, which are basically meta for getting smithing experience on a main account, so I'm gonna grab those now. And of course it's obvious now, we're gonna be knocking out smithing, and we're gonna be doing it via gold, Goldsmithing Gauntlets included. The big reason that I'm doing this is that it's time to start looking towards the future, and towards all of the skill requirements that I'll need for the quest cape. One big one is 70 smithing, and I figure it's time to knock that one out, as my clan is doing a smithing skill of the week. So just like with the agility, it aligns well with that. Unfortunately, of course, the skill of the weeks in my clan have kind of wound up backwards, as I should have done the smithing grind before the agility grind, as that was one of the only blocking factors in getting the faster agility experience. But, you know, I also play the game to have fun, and so should you. So sometimes it's worth taking a hit to the efficiency for that. This is also the perfect example of a place where the dividends from my farming grind are going to be paying off, as I earned all the money for the gold ore plus this just in the last couple of weeks from farming. So keeping up on those farm runs has been paying off a lot, as I'm able to get the skills that I need to get the quest cape without having to buy more bonds. But unfortunately, until I'm all the way up to 60, I'll have to pay extra to use the blast furnace, which isn't a lot of money, it's just really annoying. This shouldn't take too long at all. I'm expecting it should take probably around 3 to 4 hours, and we'll be all the way up to 70. It's really fast with gold. And blast furnace definitely has a soft spot on my heart. I did basically 99 smithing here on my skiller and made a ton of money by doing adamant, mithril, and rune bars, so this is going to be almost a bit of a throwback for me. Let's get it started. Okay, big midpoint of a milestone coming in here. There is 60 smithing, which is amazing because now I don't have to pay the stupid foreman every 10 minutes to keep using the damn furnace. That's so obnoxious. But even though it is still so fast here, and I'm well on my way to 70, so let's keep it going. And with this last batch of gold, that will be our goal of 70 smithing done. This was definitely not nearly as bad as the 65 agility grind I did for the previous skill of the week, as this is extremely fast and it was only really about 3 hours total, even just doing it pretty casually. It honestly was even kind of fun. I enjoy Blast Furnace. Alright, next up on the quest list is going to be some... Whoa, I'm in a wall. Alright, next up on the quest list is actually going to be some more general quest cleanup. Some quests that I probably should have done already, but just haven't gotten around to. Let's start with Eagle's Peak. Alright, and that's the end of the Eagle's Peak quest, which is always a really easy one, and always nice to get knocked out of the way. Okay, it's time for our next quest, but you're going to notice my questing inventory has changed up a little bit. It's time to start working on fletching. I'm basically already to the quest cape requirement for magic, which is 75, but I'm way off on fletching. And of course I'm going to be doing dart fletching to make sure that I can get as much passive experience as possible during questing and other activities. So you'll start to see me fletch and get up to 60 fletching in the background. It should be really quick, as darts are really quick. So while we begin fletching these darts, we're going to do the next quest on the list, which is actually going to be Haunted Mine, something that I wish I would have done a lot sooner, as it gives a very nice strength experience reward. Might as well get it done now too. Alright, and that's the end of the Haunted Mine. Such an easy quest with the quest helper. This one is definitely one that I used to hate, but now it's incredibly easy. I'll grab a couple of these extra crystals as long as I'm here. And of course, go ahead and throw these balls of wool onto them, and I will have these salve amulets, which will come very much in handy in the future, especially when I get them imbued. Another quick detour to make sure that my construction experience is higher than my Slayer experience. Hey Cuda, it's time for your weekly tiers. Yes, Juna. And dang it, just under 40 Slayer. I was hoping to get 40 Slayer for Royal Trouble, but if I need to do one level, I will just do it. We'll see where it is in the Efficient Quest Guide. Alright, now unfortunately I need to knock out 50 woodcutting, which is going to be a bit of a pain and pretty slow. I do like this spot for willows, however, just outside of the Camelot Bank, as there's 3 trees within like 1 tile of walking, and I find it the most AFK. When I hit 45 I'll move to teaks of course, but for now I'm stuck here. Let's get some woodcutting done. Alright, there's 45 woodcutting. Let's go ahead and move on to... Oh, I am a sad fool. For some reason I was thinking teak trees were 45 to 35. I could have been getting more experience. Let's go ahead there now though. And there's 50 woodcutting, just in time for the plane to go over. I could have stopped at 49, but I decided not to because I'll need 70 woodcutting in the long run anyway for the quest cape, so might as well just get an extra level knocked out now. But this enables us to start the next quest, which is going to be Olaf's quest. And there's the end of Olaf's quest. That defense experience reward is always super nice, though even with 65 agility I still failed a lot. Such an interesting quest and sort of frustrating. Alright, next we have Between a Rock. And there we go, the end of Between a Rock. Definitely another quest with a lot of running around, but it's been great for dart making. I'm already up to 53 fletching, though the dart tips are taking a huge hit to the cash stack. Just quick knocked out a requirement for the next quest we're going to do, which was 40 herb lore. But I'm realizing herb lore is going to be a serious problem. It's so expensive that I'm going to need like 3 to 4 million coins to fund even a grind to 70 in an efficient way. So this is where I might take an exception and do something cheaper that's a lot slower, just to save some money. But we're going to have to see how the financials work out once we get towards that requirement, which is not until probably the very last or close to one of the very last quests. But for now, thankfully the requirements are pretty low for herb lore, and that's no exception for the next quest we're going to do, which is a Taste of Hope. Let's get it done. So freaking close. What the hell, man? Oh god, 31 HP left. Wow. First try, too. And this should conclude a Taste of Hope, an amazing quest to get finished, as I'll get the Draken Medallion, which will let me get back to Theater of Blood a lot faster. One interesting part about completing this quest is it's my first experience with some of the new high-level OSRS quests. I've never actually gotten this far, so it definitely was an experience, and I was really happy I was able to kill the boss on the first try, even though it was barely. Of course, we're going to throw that Tome of Experience right onto Runecraft. Every single experience I get from it will go there, and there we go. 51 runecrafting from that, which is pretty cool. And using the medallion, I can teleport right to the Theater of Blood, which is also a nice little bank teleport. Not super close to the bank, but it's still handy to have for sure. Alright, next up on the quest cleanup list is actually Anacra's Lament, so let's go to the desert. This is such a weird quest, honestly. I just don't understand what's going on. The lore is just too deep for me. This is like a huge lore point, especially if you're into RS3 lore, but yeah, it's way too dense. Good amount of experience though, which I can't complain about. Alright, there's 60 fletching, another quest cape goal, knocked out of the way, and also got 1,300 total as a result of that. Absolutely incredible. I didn't realize just how fast fletching would be using dart tips during quests. Coupled with the low requirement for the quest cape means that skill was incredibly easy, and we have another one knocked off the list. Okay, so it turns out that not getting that 40 Slayer when I thought I would is a big deal, as it's going to delay a lot of quests that are coming up on the Optimal Quest guide, but it's not a big deal because there are quests further down we can do. I'm going to start by doing Regicide. I'm just trying to delay training Slayer as much as possible, even for just a couple levels if I can help it, but let's get started with these quests for now, and we'll come back to Slayer if we need to. Alright, that's the end of Regicide. Definitely one of my least favorite quests in the game, but it's always a nice one to get done since you know you never have to do the underground pass ever again. That is a good feeling. Plus the agility experience is nice. Alright, let's keep it going. We're going to jump right back into Roving Elves. Of course, the next one in this quest line. Let's do it. Boom, there we go, Roving Elves complete. I picked the crystal bow, though I might go for the shield later. I don't know for sure. I don't think either is going to be particularly useful for me though. And as long as I'm here, I'll go ahead and start the Morning's End Part 1 quest and probably just go ahead and get it done. Let's do it. Blu-ray by the end of the quest, as usual. Really nice experience rewards from this quest, and it opens up the big boy, the Morning's End Part 2, which we'll be doing soon, maybe next. Yep, I've decided. Let's just go ahead and get it done. Morning's End Part 2, the big boy. Boom, the end of Morning's End Part 2. This quest is so much easier with the quest helper. It's absolutely amazing. Still a pain though, that damn agility obstacle. And probably unsurprisingly, this is where we're going to go ahead and leave off this episode of Macroefficient Main. Taking a look at our progress, we're up to 126 out of 150 quests completed. That's incredible, especially considering we knocked out some of the longer ones in this episode, and I am so happy and so excited to see that get all the way to 150. If we check our time played, of course, we are at 7 days, 5 hours, which is about 19 hours more than the last episode. So it took me about 19 hours to do all the progress you saw in this episode. Not too bad, again, considering those extra long quests. Oh, and if you're wondering, you haven't received any new Wizard Mind Bombs donations since the last episode. No big deal though, the collection is still super impressive. And we can't leave off without giving a huge thanks again to those who have decided to join the channel. Thank you all so much. This support definitely helps me to create better videos, and I'm so excited to see where the channel can go. Special shout out, of course, to OneKiller912, going with that top tier. What a champion. So all that said, thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, definitely like the video, and please consider subscribing to the channel as well. I will see you all in the next one. Take care and bye-bye.